Okay. So yeah, so I believe loop and some basic operation in Panda is very much required when you are creating a data or when you are making a data preparing a data for analysis. So that is important thing. And the third thing is the main topic of today's, that is how do we deal with missing values, under which we will study how we identify the missing values, and then how do we deal with the missing values, and also some of the theoretical concept behind the missing values. So this is the quick topic that we are going to cover in today's session. So we'll start with the quick revisions that we have done. So till now we have done the data types. What are the different data types? What are the different atomic data types that we have? We have discussed about the numpys. We have discussed about the pandas. Also, we have discussed the joining in pandas. We have discussed all the types of join: inner joint, outer joint, left and right joint in the pandas. So this was the topic broadly that we have covered in the first session. And the second session, what we have covered is we have covered ilock and lock. That is a part of panda, that is slicing and dicing of the pandas, or you can say that is a subsetting in the pandas. Also, we have done a data import and export in pandas with necessary checks. So that is also we have done. We have also see some basic plot under the pandas, and we have done the case studies. So any questions till now for the previous class that we have? We have. So if you have done the practice in the previous class, or you feel any conceptual doubt, you can let me know. We'll discuss that quickly before going forward. So if you don't have doubt, you can ping on the chat box so that we'll go ahead. So any doubt from the previous session? Okay, I have got a response from Sanjay that okay, then okay, so I believe we don't have any doubt. So we'll quickly complete the everything that we are doing in the last session. So it is just kind of quick revision that we will do. Yeah. So and also I have uploaded the data set that we are going to use for today class in the same G drive folder. So I just request you to download that data set that we are going to use for today's class. Okay, now what we are doing is we have this data set. This was our exercise. This is how our data set look like, and we are doing some questions on this. So we'll start with the questions where we have left this. This was the question. Let's start with this one. So yeah, so the question is, what is the name of the lowest paid person, including benefits? So what you need to do is you need to again find the name of the lowest paid person along with the benefits that that person is getting. So quickly give the answer on the chat box, or I will directly ask this question to someone. So yeah, I've got an answer from Hari. I've got an answer from Yatendri. Sorry. So this is the response that I've got from Yatin. So again, I'm not getting much response from other guys except Yatin. Okay, so next question, Sanjay, you are going to do the next question. Okay, so in this case, what we are doing is we need to find the total pay benefit. We need to find what we are doing is we need to extract the entire row in which the total pay benefit is the minimum. That is the simple thing that we are doing in this case. So what we have done is first, as I have already explained in the last session. So first we extract the total pay benefit, then we calculate the minimum of total pay benefit. So first thing that we are doing is we are extracting the total pay benefit out of that particular data set. Then we are extracting only the minimum value of that total pay benefit columns. Then what we are doing is we are comparing the total pay benefit with that particular minimum values. Okay, and then we are using this as an index to extract the data from the salary database. Right? So this is a simple concept that we are doing. Okay, so my next question is what was the average base pay for all employees per year? Okay, so Sri Vidya, you asked me for to ping the drive path. So Yatin, do you have the drive path? Can you ping it in the chat box? Yeah, thanks Yatin. Thanks. So Srimita, you can download the data set that we will use for today's class from this particular location. So what is the next question we have? We have the next question that is what was the average base pay for all employee per year? So we have already discussed the group by concept. We need to apply the group by concept over here. And what we want to achieve is we want to have a average base pay from year 2011 till 2014. Okay, so our response will be at the end. What we will do is we'll just data set that we want to call will do the group by. We'll use the group by function because we just want to have a data set. We want to have an average mean from 2011 till 2014. So we'll write salary dot we want to use a group by function on which variable we want to use it on year. Write year dot mean, we'll use a mean function on the base pay. Right, we got this answer. Okay, so the next question, how many unique job titles are there? We can simply use, we can call the data set that we want salary. We want to extract a column that is job title. Okay, and then we can use the function that is number of unique. We get this response. Okay. Similarly, the next question is what are the top 5 most common job that we have? So again, what we want to do is we want to extract the job title first. We'll extract the job title first because we want to get the top 5 most common job. And then we can use a value count function over here, and we just want the top 5, so we'll write head 5 because we are writing when we use a head command we'll get a top 5 again, similarly that we have discussed in the last class also. Audio volume is too low. Bhaskaran, am I audible now? Am I audible to everyone now? Because okay, 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 Bhaskaran, I will try to speak more louder, but I think everyone else is able to hear me properly. I think yeah, everyone is getting. I'm getting yes response from everyone. Okay, so I will carry on. So in this case, what I am trying to do is again, I am trying to find what are the top 5 most common jobs. Okay, so what I have done is I have selected a column of my data set salary, and I can use a value count function. These are the top 5 most common jobs. So when I use a function that is value counts, it is similar to the frequency of the particular column. So it is giving me a frequency of the job title column. And what I want is I want a top 5. So I have applied this function that is head 5. We can use a tail 5 if I want a last or the least 5 most common job. Okay. Now
One
the
question,
next.
one question I have.
Sorry, can you come up
Uh,
again?
yeah, one question. When you are applying that value count, is it going to sort out automatically?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you. Can you type your question in the chat box?
Sure, I'll.
Yeah. Yes, Yatin, yes. So what it will do is based on the frequency, it will sort the data as well. Okay. Okay, so just last couple of questions before we start our session, our topic for today. So in this question, what we want to do is how many job titles were represented by only one person in 2013? Okay, so this is a small kind of tricky questions. So what we need to do is we want to find a job title that were represented only by one person in 2013. So there is a basically there is a 3 filter that we need to apply here. So filter there's 2 filter that we need to apply here. So year should be 2013 and the value for that particular person value count should be 1. Okay, so how we will start this? So first, what I will do is I will just select my data. I just want cell data, I year is my column, and I would just want to have a data of 2013. So this is one filter that I have applied. I have extracted only 2013 data out of my data set. Now, what I want from 2013, I want job title. I want only job title column. Okay. So I want job title column for 2013 data. So I have extracted this. Now, the second thing, what I want to do is I just the second condition that we have is it should be represented by only one person. So we need again similarly we can use the value count function, that is a frequency function. So we can use a value count is equal to 1, right? We can use a value counts equal to 1. Okay, so now what till now what we have done is we have first we have taken the our data set, that is salary data. We have extracted year 2013, and corresponding to that we have taken only job title, right? So corresponding to that we have taken only job title, right? And then we have applied condition that the frequency should be 1, which means that the value count should be equal to 1. So now what my required answer is, how I want to calculate the number of such observation in my data set. Okay, so this will give you a particular thing. So I just give you a data set, but I want a count of this kind of values that we have in a data set. If you run this code, it will give you the entire data set which has this condition. First condition is only year 2013, and job title is where the frequency of the job title is equal to 1. So this will give an entire data set. But what I want how many such observation that we have in our data set, right? So what I will do is I will just make it as an I will use a sum function over here in my data set. This will give me my output. What I have done is I have created a data set. Then from that data set, I have applied a function, that is sum function, on that particular data set. So I get the value, the number of such observations which satisfy that particular condition. Right? Okay. Then we'll move to the. Okay, so we have two more questions left. Then we'll move to the today's session. So yeah, so this is a kind of yeah. So next question is, how many people have the word "chef" in their job title? So you need to find in the job title how many people have the word "this," because this kind of questions will come into picture when you are applying a machine learning techniques. So for example, this kind of questions will come when you are using NLP. Okay, so when you are using NLP, you want to clean your data. You don't want to have particular word in your data. So you need to think in such a way that how can you overcome this issue. Okay, so that is why this kind of questions is very important. Okay, so now in this case, what you need to do is, I will not write the answer for this. I just request you to write the answer for this. Okay, we'll do this question after the completion of chapter 1, because I have yeah. So in this case, first you need to do is you need to make a function, and then you need to apply that function on the data set. So that is a part of today's session. And the last question is there a correlation between the length of title string and salary? So again, we need to find the correlation between these two particular column. So that again we'll discuss during this class. Okay. Now let's start with today's session. Okay. So so you have already have this data set in your drive. You just load this data set from the drive. Salaries.csv I have already uploaded in the previous day folder, so you can quickly load that data set so that you can also keep on doing simultaneously. So in the first, this is the first session for today. So what we are going to do is we are again importing a data using the pandas. We'll read the data using a pandas, and now we'll apply loop in our data set. Okay. So now this is my data set. So this is my data set. So loaded a data set till here. This code we have already discussed what this code is doing. So I will quickly ask a simple question, uh, and I will tell a name of person who is supposed to give the answer. Why we are writing an index call equal to 0? And I want an answer from Rakesh. Rakesh, you can type the answer in the chat box. The question is why we are using index call equal to 0. Rakesh, are you on the line? Yeah. So please uh, tell us why we are using an index call equal to 0. Sanjay, can you ping the answer? What? Yeah. Select index from the first
I don't
column.
have the internet, but I don't have the internet. But the first column we want to make it as the index
Yes,
to be used
exactly,
for.
exactly. Yeah. So this is just a quick revision for why we are using index call equal to 0. So we just want our first column to be an index. Okay. If we don't assign it equal to 0, it would not make our column as an index. Okay. And it would give the index starting from a 0 to the number. So this is why we are using index call equal to 0 over here. Now we have imported a data from our working directory, and we just have sliced the data set. So we have taken a subset of a data set. So that is why I have used data.iloc command here. I believe everyone is aware of data iloc function. So I will not going to spend much time on this. What is data.iloc? Okay. So now we have this data set, data 1. Now what I want to do is I just want to apply a loop in this data set. Okay. So what I will do is I will just apply a loop on the entire data set. So the name of my data set is data. Okay. And data 1 is just a subset of data where there is only a 5 rows and the entire column. Okay. So when I apply a loop in a data set like this, and if you want to print I, how the loop functions in a data frame. So it will take the column name. Okay, it will not it will not do the looping for the entire column, but it will take the column name first, then it will take the name of the second, and so on. So when you apply a loop for I in data, so it take employee name first, then move to the second, job title, base pay. So directly when you are applying a loop, it is running throughout each and every variable, and that is what we required, right? Because column is directly a variable in our data set, right? So when we are applying a loop, it is running through the entire column, which means entire variable. So that is ultimate requirement of us. Whenever we want to do some operations in particular variable, we can apply a loop that okay, you take this three variable base pay, overtime, and other pay, and you can apply some function on this, because all the functions that we will do on the variable level. We will not going to do it on an observation level, because the root is the observation level. Okay, I repeat once again, when we apply a loop, it runs through the column, which means it runs variable of my data set, because that is also an ultimate requirement for us, because we are all the operations that we are going to do, we are going to do it on a column level. We are not going to do any observation on the observation level, because the rules are the observation. So we are not going to apply anything on the observation level. So that is why when I write for I in data and print I, it tells me all the variable of my data set. So again, that is also a different way to calculate all the variable in your data set. Okay. Now, in any questions till now, how the loop functions in a data set. This is how the loop start functioning in the data set. The loop works in the data set. Okay. So now, let's say if you want to apply loop on one particular variable only. So if you want to apply a loop, let's say, so you want to apply a loop for a particular variable. So I will use data1 here, because in my original data set, in my original data, the number of observation is around 1,000. So okay, so one quick question: how to check? Let's say I have exported this data set, right? How to check the number of rows and column of my data set? What command can we use to check how many rows and column does this data set have? Say exactly, Sanjay. So we can use data dot. So what is the error that I'm getting here?